Hi, welcome to Learning Curves. My name is Anastasia and I'm really scared about this and I don't really want to do it, but I don't know why I decided. Hello, welcome back to Learning Curves. I'm Anastasia and today I'm going to stall because I don't want to talk about this. Deciding to start this channel and uploading my first video was scary. That felt scary. Deciding to tell the internet how much I weigh, that felt scary. And telling the internet that I've been a part of perpetuating systemic racism felt scary. This somehow feels scarier than all of those. Feels more private. Even more private than how much I weigh, because you see my body. Well, right now you can't really. I got a big baby bump here, but you have to trust me on it. You know, whenever you see someone, they see your body, they see how much you weigh, but they don't see inside your home. And even when you do have people inside your home, you can shove things under beds and in closets and not let them in certain rooms, and you can still be private about what pieces of your home you share. And in my video on productivity, I talk about feeling overwhelmed and the kind of spiraling that happens and what I do to stop that spiraling. But in this video, I'm going to unveil why I spiral. And I don't want to. My eye's twitching. My eye is twitching. Do you see it? Do you see that? Oh, this is so, I got cool my jets and my sharks. Anybody? West Side Story? Nope. So I'm going to show you some footage of, it's making me emotional. There have been a lot of things on this channel that I've shared that have felt really liberating. And I'm hoping that I might get some of that with this. So I'm gonna show you some of the clutter in my home. It's gonna look bad. I've already shot some of those pieces, and seeing this shots back to back to back is, I bet I'm gonna cry a lot editing this. But it's even worse in part because we have 147 things going on right now between both of us working full-time, preparing for a new baby, preparing for a renovation, YouTube, all of the things. But specifically, as we prepare for this renovation and we're clearing out a lot of spaces upstairs and also having to clean out spaces downstairs to make space for the things from upstairs, I'm faced with all of this clutter because I don't usually see it. You know, I'm surrounded by it, but it's like when you drive home on autopilot and all of a sudden you're home and you don't remember driving home. You know, when the clutter has been there for months or years, it's a part of the walls. It's, you know, I don't see it. It's like that drive home where you don't pay attention because you drive home all the time. Well, nobody drives anywhere nowadays, but yeah, I don't see it. And then the times that I do see it, if I'm looking for something that I can't remember where I put, or you know, if for some reason I'm paying attention, that's when the overwhelm happens, because I'm seeing each piece and thinking about how much work it's going to take to declutter that space. And it's just one space out of all the spaces that I have in my home that are cluttered. That can feel really cripplingly overwhelming. And I'll shut down that part of my brain and la 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 and just, you know, move on. And, you know, it's kind of like shoving it under the bed or in a closet, except I just do that in my brain. So I don't actually have to do anything. But yeah, the main feelings I have about clutter are shame and overwhelm. Shame I've put on myself because I feel like I should be shameful about it because it's not how I want to live. Kind of like doing something you know is wrong. But also I have had glimpses from other people. I've had a few people who are close to me talk about watching the television show Hoarders, saying about people on the show, if they can find somebody, there has to be somebody out there for me, which there's someone out there for all of us if you want someone. Those comments have stuck with me as clutter is shameful because, you know, hoarding is just clutter with the volume turned up all the way. And I think we all think that, at least a little bit, that clutter is shameful. I think part of the shame piece is also that people who don't struggle with clutter don't understand it. I do think there is a big mental component to why we have clutter in our home. And I think that those who don't have that clutter don't have that mental component and want to say, just don't do it. And I think that's like saying to an alcoholic, just don't drink or just have two. I don't think it's that simple. I think there is a mental piece that needs to be understood and addressed. So let's talk about those pieces. For me, I think there's a cocktail with 4 ingredients for why I have clutter in my home. Some of those are physical and some of those are mental. And I think the first one is delayed decision making. You know, I'll figure out where that goes later. And, you know, I'll have something that I'll need to put in a home and I'll have a plan for where that home's going to be, but I don't have the system in place for that home to exist. So I just set it down and that'll be another day's problem. And those things accumulate and pile up And I now not only have to put that infrastructure in place for the organization of that thing, but I also have that thing that I have to move and all of the things that have collected. And, I feel like clutter is like debt in that way, that once you start, it snowballs. It's this self-feeding thing that just gets worse and worse and overwhelms you really quickly. So that's the first piece, the delayed decision making, the paralysis that happens with needing to make a decision. Another piece, and the only other, I think, non-mental piece, is that it is a formed habit. It's something that I've done my whole life. I've had clutter my whole life. I now start to wonder if maybe part of it was wanting my space to be so uniquely my own, so my own chaos, that other people wouldn't want to come into that I would be surrounded by familiarity, but also that it would be uninviting for my siblings to stay out of my space. Not that nobody wanted to go in my space, so it worked. But because of that, I earned a reputation for being messy and disorganized. And when I lived on my own and had my own apartment in my mid-20s, I could have had that be however I wanted. No one was coming in without an invite, but I held on to those habits. And it wasn't until in my professional life, people started talking about how organized I was, that I was like, wait, what? With me? I'm organized? Stop. It was kind of imposter syndrome. It was scary somehow to have people say you're organized, and then I would think, oh God, they're gonna find out. They're gonna find out I'm not organized. The more I heard other people who didn't know my previous reputation for being a slob say that I was organized, that I started to believe that about myself at work, that at least I could accept that piece. Okay, so at work I'm organized. But then it made me wonder what the disconnect was. Why can I be so organized at work and not at home? Why in my own space, in my own sanctuary, do I have so much clutter? I started to realize that a lot of it had to do with how I saw myself. I would think, about those things I heard growing up about being messy, and I would think, I'm not a person who has a clean space. I don't have nice things. They say you can't be what you can't see, and I couldn't see for myself a tidy space. Once I realized that my mindset was the thing standing in my way, it kind of became scarier, because when you accept I have clutter in my home, and that's just how it is, then it can fade into the walls. You don't have to see it. But saying I can do better, and I want to do better, and I'm going to do better, all of the fears of failure, failing sucks and it's scary. And to think maybe I can have a clean space, and then to try and then not be able to have it or not be able to maintain it, that feels scarier. So solutions, what I'm going to do. I'm going to delay fewer decisions. I'm going to work towards implementing those organizational systems that are a piece of the paralysis, so that I do have more homes for these things in my home that don't have homes. I'm going to make new habits and work to unlearn a lot of those clutter-causing behaviors that I have taught myself over the years, that I've taken comfort in. I'm going to stop telling myself that I'm a messy person and that I can't have a clean space, because it's not true. Why? Why can't I have a clean space? I have great organizational skills. Sometimes telling yourself something will change your perspective on it. Sometimes telling yourself I can have a YouTube channel enough times makes you believe it, and then look here, then you're me. And the last piece is I'm going to shut down the fears. Fears are the more I think about it, I feel like fears are a waste of time. I feel like they're like future regrets. Regrets are a waste of time. You can't change the past. And fears are kind of a waste of time, because you don't know what's going to happen. Being afraid of it isn't going to help the thing not happen. I think that just shutting up the fears and doing the things one foot in front of the other is how you help those fears not become reality. So the next piece I have to decide is, I'm kind of between two game plans, and they're kind of zone versus man-to-man. One thought I've had is about decluttering one space and having that space be a sanctuary. Whether it be just the peninsula in our kitchen or our dining room table. At all costs, this space stays clean. If I have clutter, it goes somewhere else, this stays clean. and gradually adding places in. That's one idea. The man-to-man idea is that I can look in all of the spaces of clutter for quick wins, for easy victories, for, okay, I know what to do with this, I can get this out of here. I know what to do with this, I can get this out of here. I feel like it might become kind of a combo of those two. We have a lot of life changes that are about to happen, and I do think that with big life changes, you do kind of get an opportunity for a reset. And you know, having a new baby is so easy and you have so much time because they sleep so much. It's a lie. It is a lie. But I do think there's also a bit of clarity that you get with, okay, these are the things that are important. Hopefully we'll be able to have some resets as we're having to replan our days and adjust to add another human into our family. Yeah, I don't know. What do you think? If you like this video, please like this video and please consider subscribing. All right, that's enough. Okay, bye.